what are the chances the Fed has a target for the S&P 500? The number I want to talk about is core CPI for October month over month came in at 0.27%.
You know, this year has directly followed years like 1962. Honestly, the one thing I would tell investors is that it's always important to pay attention to the 60-year cycle.
Mark, I know you made some pretty cogent comments in our huddle today around interest rates and dollar. Do you mind just throwing out some of your thoughts on both of those?
As I've been talking about for most of the year, the metric I use is ASM, stands for Analyst Sentiment Measure, and it is a proprietary metric. And one of the key underlying points that I've been talking about this year is that this line would keep falling. Well, we're now in November, the line has fallen, and unfortunately for right now, it looks like it still has to fall further.
I would love your perspective on whether or not you think there's a fair value argument to be made between bonds and stocks.
From corporate earnings calls, we extract sentiment that management is expressing about earnings, about cost pressures, things like that. And we see that that model is actually a pretty effective predictor for how margins are going to move.
FTX filed for Chapter 11. It looks like there are some corollary contagion effects. And so, Sean, you've had a lot of great commentary and calls this year. Tell us a little bit about the state of digital assets now.
The continuation of a continuous deleveraging event that actually started back in the spring. So if you recall, we had the unwinding of Luna UST. You could draw a direct line from that to the unwind of 3AC, and you can draw a direct line from that to the downfall of FTX.
Which events in the last couple of days, including things like Genesis and some capital raises, what do you think are events that are potentially expanding the type of contagion that's out there?
I've known Jay. I've worked with Jay Powell when he serves the Treasury Department. So I think he was pretty clear that there's a strong feeling on the committee. 75 basis points is over for now.
Trump announcing his candidacy and whether or not this raises his chances of being the Republican nominee in 2024?